Okay, time for a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. This is yet another Eurovision 2026 related video here on my channel, and another reaction type video as well, because right now I am about to listen in full for the first time to the Belgian entry for the 2026 edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which, as we all know, will take place this May in Vienna, Austria. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in today's video by leaving a comment down below, and as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So Belgium were there at the very first ESC in Lugano, Switzerland in 1956, and they've missed few contests since. However, this is still a nation that has only won the competition on one occasion, 40 years ago this year, in Norway, with the then 13-year-old Sandra Kim and the song J'aime la vie, which I've always quite liked. If we take a look at Belgium's more recent form, 11 years ago, the last time the competition was in Vienna, Belgium were represented by Loïc Noté and the song Rhythm Inside. This finished fourth with 217 points. A really great effort. It came upon the rails right before the competition itself. A lot of people were really responding to this warmly. It was a really great performance. Really sleek, really cool, captivating, sophisticated. Some nifty choreo as well, which wasn't too over the top at all. Suri, the future UK representative, was on stage with him. And it was really a job well done. And it felt as though Belgium maybe turned a corner a little bit after a few hit-and-miss years. In 2016, we had Laura Tesoro with the song What's the Pressure. She won a national final. I think the general feeling at first was one of indifference towards this song, but then we had a bit of a revamp. We saw what it was going to look like because of the rehearsals. She closed the second semi-final, opened the grand final. I would go as far to say this is one of my favourite Eurovision performances I've ever seen. I really do like it that much. I just thought it was terrific. There was energy. She was having a good time. That came through on screen. I loved her outfit. She looked great. The dancers were having a good time too. Just terrific. 10th in the final, 181 points. The juries liked it more than the public, but still a really terrific result. Then, in 2017, in Kiev, we had Blanche with City Lights, 4th place, 363 points. Absolutely terrific, because really, this had no staging to speak of. She was getting a bit of criticism in the rehearsal period because she looked a bit nervous, a little bit shaky vocally, all of that sort of stuff. But in the final, she did a pretty good job. The studio version is absolutely excellent. And I remember being very excited about this song's chances. As I just said, 4th place, really good. 3 terrific results in a row there for Belgium. But then came the slide and the downturn in form, because in 2018 we had Senek with A Matter of Time. This was really great. It's my winner of the Lisbon competition, actually, but I've barely listened to it over the years. Some criticism went the way of her voice. Some criticism went the way of her outfit, because she was sort of wearing a transparent, semi-transparent sort of outfit on stage. And that was a really tough first semi-final in Lisbon, and unfortunately this just didn't make the cut. But it's a really lovely track, and something Belgium have done quite often over the years is bring a rather moody, mysterious and highly atmospheric track to the table, and this was one such example, really. In 2019 we had Elliot with Wake Up, 13th in the first semi-final in Tel Aviv. Yeah, I've barely listened to this one as well. Really quite forgettable stuff. Didn't like the staging at all, didn't like the outfits, just didn't make a great deal of sense to me, and the song was really lacking any sort of power or emphasis, if you see what I mean. And I'm not a professional musician, but I don't think he sounded that great on stage either. It is what it is. In 2020, Hooverphonic, one of Belgium's most recognisable bands, I would say, came along with Release Me. This was a little bit on the sleepy side, full of strings, again, really trying to create that atmosphere. I'm not sure it would have qualified had the contest gone ahead. A year later, they were back with one of their previous female lead vocalists front and centre now, with the song The Wrong Place. This qualified, maybe a bit surprisingly, and it was on early in the grand final in Rotterdam. Very, again, atmospheric, black and white, grey, very washed out, if you see what I mean. But it was really nicely done, quite classy. Juries liked it more than the public. In 2022, we had Jérémy Makiese, might be mispronouncing that, apologies, with the song Miss You, 19th in the final again, 64 points. For me, this is absolutely one of the most unremarkable and forgettable songs of the decade so far. I'm amazed this qualified. Nice voice, little bit of choreo, I suppose going into R&B sort of territory, But honestly, I was really disappointed by this track. It didn't do anything for me. I didn't think it was doing anything that remarkable. Gotta be honest, not really one of my favourite Belgian efforts. In 2023 we had Gustav. He won a national final. People were surprised. People were saying, oh my god, what have Belgium done? This is not very good at all. Last place, etc, etc. And then people just started liking it more and more, and this went down an absolute storm in Liverpool. The big hat, the confidence, the charisma, the dancers, everybody just feeling the good vibes, really shining through. 7th place, really impressive. Then we had another downturn in form, because in 2024 in Malmö we had Musty with Before the Party's Over. The studio cut is great. It does become a little bit repetitive, it has to be said, just the title of the song repeated numerous times in the final third. Live it wasn't quite hitting the mark, and unfortunately he failed to make the cut. And then last year, Red Sebastian Strobe Lights. Well, this won a national final so convincingly, and it shouldn't have been that convincing in my opinion, but what happened, happened. And I didn't think much of the song at first. I liked it, but didn't love it. And then when I saw the Eurovision performance, I thought, wow, this is actually pretty darn good. Well done. But a lot of people didn't respond to it at all. This was second last in last year's first semi-final in Basel, 14th place, 23 points. Really quite surprising. For whatever reason, people just weren't on board with this track. Maybe they were listening to it for the first time and thought, please stop shrieking, or maybe the sound of this track just wasn't their cup of tea or whatever. But anyway, Belgium this year, for the upcoming Vienna competition, are looking once again to turn a corner. The song and artist were revealed earlier today. It is, and I'm going to try and pronounce this accurately, but I could be wrong, Essyla. Essyla. This was the strong rumoured name over the past few days, it has to be said. Her real name is Alice. She was on the Belgian version of The Voice a couple of years ago. I looked at her Instagram page fairly recently, and I think she's got other new music coming out at some point soon, or she has recently released some new music, I'm not entirely sure. Her Eurovision entry is called Dancing on the Ice, which is quite fitting because the Winter Olympics are happening right now. She has also been a backing vocalist for some musicians in the past, collaborated with DJs and producers, released other singles in the past, including Not My Kind of Dude, apparently, and one EP 3 years ago, apparently. Anyway, the music video is here, just over 3 minutes long. I have high expectations, as always. I am looking for a bit of originality, I'm looking for quality from start to finish, a great voice, something that holds my attention for the full 3 minutes, just something that I can sit here and say afterwards, that really was quite interesting. I'd like to listen to that again pretty soon, rather than sitting here and saying, you know what, I just don't think that's for me at this stage. However, opinions do change, of course they do, and if I'm not quite vibing with this one at first, then give it a few weeks and I probably will enjoy it a hell of a lot more. Anyway, let me know what you think. Enough rambling. Let's just find out what this is all about. What I'm watching won't be in the bottom corner of the video you're watching, that's the way it usually is, but chances are you've seen this by now anyway. The music video doesn't matter too much, what matters is the song. And I'm always thinking ahead to how it could be staged at Eurovision as well. Just under 80,000 views for this at the time of this recording. Belgium, here we go, deliver the damn goods, and hopefully this can get them back into a Eurovision final. Here we go. I am not a professional journalist, so I might not be too great at giving you my thoughts, but here we go. A little bit funky at the start. Oh. Burns Within. Okay, yeah, I might be pausing it a few times, so apologies there, but straight away we have this funky beat. She's looking into the camera. I can see her doing that on stage at Eurovision, really drawing the audience in, and I think that's something you've really got to do at Eurovision, especially with a big up-tempo song, and this might be a big up-tempo song. You've got to reel in the audience quickly and keep them there for the whole 3 minutes. Okay, some sort of like operatic. It's not quite operatic, but you see what I mean. Vocals coming through there. I'm not royal. I actually think it's piano. I thought it was guitar, but it's piano doing that sort of funky thing, I think. Strobe effects. Everything dies. We've got dancers. It's building. Yeah. It is a little bit funky. And we've got sort of synth sounds, I guess. We're almost halfway through, and this is good. It's really good. I didn't quite expect something like this. I really am hoping it builds significantly, though. Yeah, staging is going to be key for this one. Could do some really innovative stuff. Okay. Yeah. This sort of pre-chorus is pretty good. I'm liking this. I'm not sure what the dancers are doing, but okay. It feels quite modern, contemporary. But maybe this chorus, and I hate to sound critical here, but maybe this chorus, it just needs something else, a little extra spark. Because the pre-chorus is pretty nice. But then the actual chorus, I don't know, it's not falling flat at all. But I just feel like it needs another kick up the backside. Otherwise, this is really solid stuff. And she looks good. There's not much to this video, but that's okay. Yeah, big note. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. This ending here, strong. It feels quite old school pop, actually, and yet fairly modern at the same time. Yeah. This is good. Very solid stuff. Dum 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 dum. Oh, and then just like a sharp intake of breath at the end. Well, that's the Belgian entry, Dancing on the Ice. And if I had to give that a rating straight away, based on my first listen of it, 1 being absolutely dreadful, 10 being incredible, I think I'd give that maybe an 8. I really would. It feels fresh. It feels like it's going to stand out quite a bit. Staging, absolutely. I can already sense the staging is really going to have to be quite something here. Because if it is falling flat live, this could be in a bod of bother, perhaps. But let's not get carried away. There's still ages to go before the contest. I'm really liking this. I am liking, I know I keep repeating myself here, the rather sort of funky sound. You know? And then this pre-chorus is very nice. Yeah, it's sort of a little bit diva-esque in the chorus, I would say, as well. Quite fierce, powerful. Dong 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 dong. You know, yeah. Really could be an earworm after a while. Absolutely. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the comments. This has great staging potential. This will come to life on stage. Belgium with a girl bop. A lot of people are mentioning the Winter Olympics, actually. It has to be huge if they're doing a joint reveal. This is pure art. I don't think it's a contender to win, but top 10 is a fact. Juries will rank her top 5 for sure. Okay, some of these comments. Let's have a look at the newest comments, shall we? It's bland. This song is not getting anywhere. Definitely a wild card. A nod to Billie Eilish. Okay. Cyprus is much better. Not my piece of cake. Think it needs a revamp already. Goodness me. Really good. Yeah, I do quite like it. I really do. As I said a moment ago, perhaps the second chorus, the second time the chorus comes around in this song, I was maybe hoping for a little bit more of a punch, if you see what I mean. But then the ending, the final third, really strong. That's where this song really can excel. You could say maybe it's a bit too late to do that, but nevertheless, on the whole, really, really good. And hopefully this is going to come across well live and we get some live performances soon. A job well done. I really can't say much more. Like I said, I'm not a professional journalist, but there's a lot of things to like about this one. It really does feel quite fresh. It's not really, really massively up-tempo. It's obviously not a jokey entry. Yeah, it feels slick, up-to-date, I would say. And, yeah, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it definitely can become an earworm after a while, I'm sure. Anyway, that is Dancing on the Ice by Essyla. Let me know what you think about this year's Belgian entry in the comments section below, and hopefully this video has turned out okay. I'll be back with another Eurovision-related video fairly soon. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.